Greetings, my beautiful lovelies. It's Emmy. How are you? It's great to see you and welcome back. Today, we are going to be making a cheesy appetizer perfect for your next holiday party. And it has the most perfect name. It's called Cheese Dudes. Cheese Dudes! Have you heard of these things? They're also known as Cheese Krispies because they contain Rice Krispies. We're going to be taking the Rice Krispie cereal and making them into a cheesy, buttery, kind of crackery thing, and it sounds absolutely delicious. From my understanding, it is not a new recipe like a lot of recipes that are shared these days. In fact, I've seen the word vintage attached to this recipe as well. Today's recipe inspiration comes from the everyday chef and wife, and dad is making the Cheese Dudes in the video that I saw. I'll put a link to it down below, and it looks absolutely delicious. All the classic pairings and flavors of cheese with Rice Krispies. I'm super intrigued by the flavor and, most importantly, the texture. I am also interested in the idea of making a gluten-free version, which I'm going to test as well, because Rice Krispies are a rice-based cereal, so I thought this might be a perfect opportunity to make a gluten-free appetizer snack for your guests or for yourself. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm curious about this idea of making a gluten-free flour that you can use to substitute regular flour. Wheat flour has very interesting characteristics, namely gluten, which is the protein in the flour that makes it really nice and stretchy, which is really important for bread texture. 8 tablespoons of rice flour. This is a 2 tablespoon measuring spoon. 4 tablespoons of tapioca starch or cassava, and 4 tablespoons of potato starch. Blend that all together. Next, we're gonna grate some cheddar cheese. I happen to like extra sharp cheese, so that's what I'm using. And I like the orange color because I feel like it's more festive. We're gonna need 2 cups of cheese. And the recipe notes that it's important to grate it yourself. Dad says to pack the cheese nice and firmly. Listen to Dad. Now we have 2 sticks of butter. You can allow your butter to sit on the countertop so that it can warm up and mix nicely, or you can do what I'm doing because A, it's so cold, and B, I always forget to put out my butter. We're gonna just grate it, just like we did with the cheese. I'm supposed to be reformed of my 2 small bowl thing, but I guess I'm not entirely reformed. Now we're going to add our remaining ingredients. 1 cup of flour. This is gluten-free flour, regular all-purpose. Pinch of salt in each. Next, Dijon mustard, a classic pairing with cheese. A little bit of mustard. So Dijon mustard, of course, originates from Dijon, France, and contains a bit of white wine in it, and that's, in my opinion, what kind of makes it taste different than a lot of other mustards. Another ingredient that has a very signature flavor is this. This is Tabasco. It is very different, in my opinion, than other hot sauces, and if I was blindfolded, I'm fairly certain I would know what Tabasco tastes like. It's just very vinegary. It's a Louisiana style hot sauce. Smoky, almost whiskey-like flavor, and nice and spicy. But a half a teaspoon of this to each batch. Of course, add this to your taste. If you like it a little spicier, add a little bit more. Best ingredient, the one that I'm most curious about, Rice Krispie cereal. This is the puffed rice that we're going to add, 1 cup to each. This is often used to make Rice Krispie treats, which are made with marshmallows and butter. A spatula for the initial mixing, and then I'm going to get in with my hands and just form this into a mass. So I was thinking about the name Cheese Dudes and where it might have come from, and then I thought about cheese doodles and thought maybe it came from that. So cheese doodles is another name for, a puffed cheese snack. So maybe these are like a little abbreviated version, homemade cheese doodles, cheese dudes. That's my theory. So I'm gonna dump this out, try not to make too much of a mess, and form this into a log. So when I was researching these Cheese Krispies, there are a couple different methods of shaping these. Some said just to use an ice cream scooper, scoop them out and then smash them. Others said to roll it into a log and then slice them, which I think I'm gonna do because that's what Dad showed in the video. This is gluten-free. Boink. So now you can store this in your refrigerator and it's ready to slice, just like cookie dough. Here's the flour version. We're gonna do the same thing, massage all this butter, cheese, and Rice Krispie together. Now the recipe says nothing about needing to chill this at all. So we're just gonna slice these right now and bake them up. I'm gonna bake them both on a baking tray. I've marked gluten-free here, GF, so I'll put those ones here and then the normal ones down below. So that's what it looks like in cross section. I'm cutting them about a ½ inch thick. I'm gonna bake 4 at a time first. I'm not sure how much these are going to spread. Regular. They seem to be holding up their shape pretty similarly. Now we're gonna pop these into a preheated 350-degree oven and bake them for about 14 to 15 minutes or until they crisp up, and then we'll give them a taste. Alrighty, lovelies, see you in a little bit. I'm back with our baked cheese dudes, and I'm so glad I did this little experiment because it shows you, even though the flours looked similar, they behaved very differently. Here are the gluten-free ones. See that? They look very lacy, almost like lacy cookies. They spread quite a bit, and they did get nice and golden on the bottom, but I didn't want to risk breaking any, so I didn't take them off the parchment. And here are the ones made with all-purpose flour. So they look very different. I did have to tack on an additional 10 minutes to the baking time. For the gluten-free ones, I tacked on about an extra 5 minutes because they weren't golden on the bottom. So since this is the original recipe, let's go ahead and try this one first. This is what it looks like inside. Almost looks more like a shortbread, huh? I was expecting it to be more like a cracker or something somehow, but alrighty, moment of truth. Let's give our cheese dudes a taste. Itadakimasu. They do have a texture similar to a shortbread. Crumbly, full of butter and cheesiness. Kind of a sandy, crumbly texture. And surprising to me, the Rice Krispies aren't as distinctive as I thought they'd be. The edges are toasted and more crunchy, but more of a sandy kind of crumble. And the Rice Krispies add a crunch, but I don't think I would have discerned them as Rice Krispies. I also really like the addition of the Tabasco and the mustard. I could definitely taste that flavor combination in there. It's there, subtle, but I can taste them. Not spicy, but a nice kind of smoky flavor. A little dash of vinegar goes so nicely with the cheese. Alrighty, now let's try my gluten-free experiment. Let's see if I can even, oh yes. So initially when these baked, they were very fragile looking, but as they've cooled, they've set up. Look at that. See what it looks like on the bottom. Equally golden. Itadakimasu. Whoa. No. Those are good as well. A little bit different texture. These are similar to those Lay's cookies if you've ever had them before. A lacy crunch, but definitely crunchier than the original version. Not as shortbready, more crisp. So you get more of that kind of frico taste. If you've ever taken Parmesan cheese and cooked it in a pan or baked it on a baking pan so that it turns lacy and crispy, it has more of that kind of baked cheesy flavor. This one, in my opinion, than the original. This one does, like the frico, have more of a kind of greasier flavor and texture. Which isn't necessarily bad, it's just oilier. I feel like the cheese flavor is more distinctive in the gluten-free version. I can taste cheese more than the original, while I like the kind of scone shortbread texture of the original. It's surprising to me because somehow, I don't know why in my mind I thought this would be more like a cracker, but it's not. It's more like a pecan sandy. If you've ever had a pecan sandy cookie before, it's like that texture, but savory. But similarly, in the gluten-free version, I can't really distinguish the Rice Krispies cereal so much. It's just a pleasant kind of all over encompassing kind of like crunchiness. I like the look of the gluten-free ones. They're more cracker-like to me, but they're very fragile. Just barely need to touch them before they fall apart. Also, besides tasting the cheese more, I also taste the Tabasco very distinctly in the gluten-free one. I don't know, I just taste the flavors more. I don't think either one of them needs anything else to accompany them. I think they're a perfect little snacky app on their own. Maybe a cold, crisp beverage to go along with them would be nice. Offset all of that richness, but delicious. I have to say, in terms of preferences, I think I like the lacy crunch more than the kind of more stodgy Cheese Dude original, you know? And that just is my own personal preference. Alrighty, my lovelies, if you're looking for a cheesy, buttery appetizer snack accompaniment to your party soiree, Cheese Dudes might be the one for you. You can make them gluten-free too. Alright, my lovelies, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that one. I hope you learned something. Please share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media, like this video, subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one. Toodaloo, take care, bye! Oh, these ones are spreading a little bit more. Interesting.